All right, everybody, first episode. What do we really think? And we got the first one we're going to do today, or the first episode we're going to do all about Glock. No chamber. We got a chamber flag in it. We're going to be handling it, but we'll take that flag out just to let you know that there's nothing, no ammunition around it at all. And I'm not a Glock lover or Glock fanboy, but I'm also not a Glock hater. I've had this thing for, I think it's around 9 or 10 years now. It's the only Glock I've owned. So there's things, I guess the main complaint to most people is the grip. And it don't feel that bad to me because I even actually put the larger back strap in it. This is a Gen 4. It comes with 4 back straps. I even got the bigger one in. And it don't feel that bad. The biggest complaint, of course, with a Glock is the trigger. But would I buy another Glock? Probably not, because there's so much out there that is the Springfield Echelon, for instance. Basically the same size gun, a whole lot better, got a better trigger. It comes optics. It just comes with everything you want for roughly the same price as you'd buy this new in the store. Matter of fact, it's a little bit cheaper right now because I seen it on sale the other day. So, you know, you got Canic. Taurus is actually making some awful nice guns that's got a lot better trigger. So when I buy another Glock, no, don't plan on it. But I know I got somebody here that got a few Glocks, and we're going to get his impressions on it, and we're going to be honest as we can. Like I said, I'm not a Glock lover. I'm not a Glock hater. It's a gun that, well, ever since the 80s when they first come out, the Model 17, I believe, was the pilot gun for it. Of course, the liberals was, oh God, a plastic gun. They're going to be able to get it through radar and all that crap. Metal detectors. That's the word I was looking for. This is going to be an uncut video, so you're going to get what you get. So, but yeah, Glock 19, or Glock 17, I'm sorry. It's a good gun. It's been reliable. The only thing I've done to it is put a wolf barrel on it and a 3.5 pound connector, and I had to put a striker spring in it about, it's been about 5 years ago. It got where it wouldn't, it would handle Federal, some of the softer primers, but it got where it wouldn't consistently ignite CCI. So we put a new striker spring in it, and had a bit of problem with it. I mean, this thing, one thing about Glocks, they do run, but I'm going to let this guy put his input on it. We're not going to try to keep this video too long. We're going to do a series of them. You know, if you guys want to keep it going, we can till winter, because by then me and him won't be seeing each other a whole lot. But that's what I think about it. So we're going to let Dan do his thing.
Well, I have to differ with you on one thing. I don't think that the trigger is the main complaint. I think it's the grip angle. And a lot of people say that this is angled too much. And so what we're seeing is that there are companies making Glock pattern handguns. Shadow Systems comes to mind. We have Lone Wolf, who has been making Glock parts for years. And they made the grip angle a little more vertical. And so the grip angle is a bit substantial. Every now and again when I shoot a handgun, then grab a Glock, I have to change more than I normally would with other handguns. And that's because that grip angle is, let's just say, heavily angled. You mentioned you put a trigger spring in there, a connector, 3.5 pounds. That is an advantage. Glock has the market captured with aftermarket support. Everything from holsters to the takedown levers, to the magazine release, to the slide stop, you name it. Even you look at some of the guide rods, they make metal guide rods, which I can see you have one in.
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, so that was changed out, as well as the sights. You changed out the sights.
Yep.
And so the biggest beef with Glock is, one, the grip angle. Two, and this is my beef, they really raised their prices from the $480, $499 that we saw about 5 years ago. And we can argue that everything's higher now. Well, that's true, but I'm not seeing that with some of the other manufacturers. But the amount that you have to pay to turn this into the gun that you want to have. By looking at this, I can see that you put a grip texturing on there. You put a 3.5 pound connector. You put a guide rod in, and you put aftermarket sights. So those are 4 things right there that you changed out. So if I buy this new out of the store, it would be a completely different gun. It's an advantage because of what you could do, but it's a disadvantage when you look at the cost. The cost of the, oh, by the way, I love the Glock 17. And you mentioned that I own Glocks. I own 5. And so I'm not a fanboy by any means, but I do appreciate what they offer, along with the history and the durability of them. That they also have going for them. But it comes at a cost. And people have their grips stippled a certain way. They do all kinds of things to their Glocks. It's good, but it's costly. So it's not anywhere near a budget gun, but they shoot great. And once you get that grip angle down, it becomes a little bit addictive. I mentioned Glock pattern handguns. This is the CZ75, they say, is the most copied handgun. That's true, but this has to be a close second. Especially in the last 3 or 4 years, every company is making a Glock pattern handguns, and they use Glock pattern magazines. So we're seeing this evolution of Glock style handguns, and they all say, oh, it'll fit a Glock 19 holster, because they know people have the Glock 19. Are you aware that the Glock 19 was by far the most popular CCW handgun in America? I think it may have changed with the P365 and many of those variants with the double stack subcompact, but the Glock 19 was. They got rid of the finger grooves with the Gen 5 models. They made MOS with the Gen 5 models. They made essentially a better gun, but the price also reflects that. So I'll shut up and let you respond to what you think.
No, you're pretty much right, Dan. I forgot about the sights and the guide rod when or the recoil rod. That is 2 things I did put on. I put this little cheap Olight sight light on it. They had them on sale. I think it was $39 a couple years ago. I just threw it on there. This is my bedside gun. But everything Dan said, that's why he's got so many of them. He's more experienced with them than I am, even though I've had this 9-10 years, at least 9 years, I know. But that's a story on it, and hope you enjoyed this first episode. Of course, if you like videos like this, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Of course, we appreciate a share. Comments are always welcome. So thanks for watching, and God bless America and our armed forces, past and present.